Right, so this game really took me by surprise. I was not expecting something like this when Square Enix has been so busy. So this game is called Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy. And it's just really left field. Like, yeah, I'm Dan from GameReviewsAU. How you going? So Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy has you playing as a dude called Jack. Now, it is set in the Final Fantasy 1 days. So you've got GARLAND, the big baddie from Final Fantasy 1, and the whole Warriors of Light thingy going on, and they have crystals and stuff. What are you doing, dog? Okay, and yeah, the game, it's quite difficult. There is a lot to it. There's no turn-based combat. There is a lot of action-based sort of hack and slash combat. You've got different weapons, different jobs that you can equip Jack with, and that will let you use different weapons, as I said, different abilities, and this will you're also able to equip 2 different jobs at once, and you can switch between them willy-nilly during combat. This is cool because it gives you that extra little bit of flexibility with how you want to play the game. If you want to be long range and use magic, then cool, you can do that. If you want to be up close and personal with a massive 2-handed weapon, you can also do that. Or you can have 2 one-handed and attack like crazy and dodge. And yeah, it feels really satisfying when you get into the combat. It can get really like flowy, like really fluid, and what you're saying actually looks pretty badass, and you feel cool doing it. It's all very flashy as well, and I love how Jack can finish off enemies when they get past their break limit or whatever, and he crushes them or turns them into these red crystals and explodes them and stuff. It's very impressive, very visually impressive. I played this on the PS4 and it seemed to handle quite well in terms of performance and beauty. It looked great, it felt quite smooth, and it was a very impressive game. You could sit on this for ages and just enjoy the hell out of it. It's kind of weird as well in terms of, it feels like the studio behind it just sort of said, you know what, let's cut the crap and not do the whole, hey, you guys are new heroes, let's go out and kill some little monsters and then get stronger. They're just like, Jack, what are the other guys' names? Ash, Seb, I forget. So the 3 protagonists at the beginning, it just says in white text on a black screen, they needed to prove themselves, so they went out and killed monsters. When they came back, they went and saw the king and stuff. And you're like, but hang on, why didn't I get to see all of this? Why didn't I get to experience it? At the end of the day, it's sort of setting up the story and just saying, look, these guys kick ass. You're going to kick ass with them. You don't need to see how they got so powerful. You just need to know that they are. And then they just throw you into levels that's they remind me of the missions in Final Fantasy X2, 10-2 I think it was, where you're on the airship and you go down and do different areas and just run through, find all the treasure, kill the monsters, get to the end point, and then you come back into the world map screen. So yeah, the levels are sort of played out in terms of missions, and I don't mind that. It's sort of, it cuts the crap of all the exploration that might bore some people. Elden Ring, for example, that has a heck load of exploration, and that can feel quite daunting. You don't know where to go next. You just go somewhere in the hopes that you can do it. I mean, yeah, you do know where you're generally meant to go, but there's just so much to explore that it gets overwhelming and you want to do everything. But yeah, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy, you do what you're told to do and you have fun doing it. Yes, it's linear. I don't like linear games, but this is linear in the sense that it doesn't care that it's linear. It's meant to be linear. The whole game is played out, like, in terms of missions. It does what it says on the tin. They're not holding back. And I really like Jack as a protagonist, as he doesn't take crap either. Like, there'll be a baddie who's introducing himself and being all epic and dramatic, and Jack literally just says, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna kick your ass. Cuts him short and just starts the battle. Too cool. So yeah, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy, I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I feel that it is a really good game, but I also feel like it was sort of just thrown out there to be another game. I don't know why they chose to explore the world of Final Fantasy 1 more, but the fact that they're nearly at Final Fantasy 16 and they've taken it back to number 1. I think that's kind of cool, but at the same time it just feels like it's filling in the gaps between the games that everyone wants. Very enjoyable game. If you like this review, please hit the thumbs up button down below. Remember to subscribe to my channel. If you do so choose to do so, leave a comment down below. Toodle pips.
闇に囚われた人間か。後で尋問してやろう。変更だ。
こいつの攻撃どっかで見たことない？
ジャックと似てないか？かもな。だが俺の方が上だ。